that got us here. So yeah, like we just had to make sure that we all were present on the floor and that we had each other's back whenever we were trying to make the passes hard in the lanes, that we had each other's backside help. So
speaking to your guys' defense, can you kind of talk about trying to contain Maddie Shear and Asia Petty today?
Yeah, that was hard. She moves well off the ball, and so we're chasing her, and then she gets her feet set well. But just being able to pressure her, make her uncomfortable with what we were trying to do.
yeah, when I guarded her a little bit, she does move well without the ball, and whenever she gets the ball, she has good poise and moves well with the ball, I should say. She's a great player, and along with Asia Petty, she's a great player as well. Very poised, doesn't let anyone rush her in the paint, and she gets her points because she knows the pace that she needs to go. She doesn't let anyone else rush her, like I said. Sorry.
Olivia obviously hit her 1,001st point tonight. What has she meant to you guys so far on this team with being that leadership or having that leadership?
I think Olivia is a great player, but I think most importantly, she's a great woman off the court. She's like a big sister to all of us. She's had the most experience here, more than all of us, and we really do look up to her no matter what, and we have her back just like she has our back. Off the court, just in the dorms, whatever, chilling with each other. Like, she's a fun person to be around, and I think that definitely helps when your captains are very present in the team chemistry as well, and not just captains, they're also your teammates and your sister. Yeah. So it's definitely a great person to have on our team, and we love her.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
congratulations to her.
Yeah, she pretty much hit it on the head, but she's been here, like she said, for the 4 years. And so
she's the roommate. Really, I don't know why she ain't saying nothing.
That's my girl.
Her the most.
We were here last time, but now Olivia is my girl, yeah. But her leadership on and off the court has really been helping us, especially like since we are transfers and all that good stuff. So she's really been helping us gel and all that stuff because of her experience. And so it's been really great having her and being able to look up to her.
Yes.
This one's for both of you guys. Coach Walz talked earlier in the week about emphasizing how much this rivalry means. Now you've won 7 in a row in this rivalry. Just what does that mean to you guys as players to continue that?
This is my second year in this whole rivalry game. But last year, as a freshman, I was definitely like, okay, like, didn't really know what it meant. But after the game last year, I really did understand what it meant to this community. And so today, even in shoot-around practice, I made sure to emphasize, because me and O and Riss have played in this game before, so we had to emphasize a lot to our transfers and our new players that this is an important game, and it doesn't matter what record we have, each team has. It's like a top 10 matchup to this whole entire community, and so we have to put an emphasis on scout. Whatever we do, we have to put an emphasis on it, because this not only is a big game to us, but it's a big game to our community, and it means a lot to our community how we stamp on this game and show all the fan bases and everything that this is a game that we don't play around with, and we played our hearts out, and we want you guys to come back to another game, because we're not just going to play hard in this game. We're going to play hard in every single game that's coming up before us. So,
for sure. I say that just coming into the atmosphere, I personally have never played in front of all those people, so I see how big this game is. And like Nyla said, we take the game very seriously, and so just knowing like the battle and stuff like that is going to be, it was just a great atmosphere to be in.
You were able to out-rebound them by 22. Did you see that happening in practice or anything that you talked about that? I mean, how did you out-rebound them by so many?
I would say just being aggressive, going to the boards, trying to get loose balls and things like that. Just being aggressive, I would just say, yeah.
Yeah. To second what she said, just being aggressive. I definitely think second half we definitely didn't quit, and once you get that kind of like adrenaline going and like the atmosphere and the fans are coming in with us and everything, like it's very hard to stop the energy that we have. It's only better to just build onto it. So every rebound was easy for us to just go get the ball. It was just natural for us at that point. So.
Ely, I noticed you kind of got into the emotion. You had a few big plays in the second half and really kind of got you up emotionally and everybody else. But when you add that crowd, how much does that magnify those plays?
It just lets me be me. I like to have a lot of energy, yelling, screaming. You'll hear me, but I feed off of that. I think my teammates feed off of it, and it just makes the atmosphere even that much better.
How effective was their, particularly in the first half, their zone? It seemed to spread you out. They were very physical in their zone, and they made you shoot outside shots. And not until the second half that you were all able to open it up and go inside a little bit.
Yeah, I think their zone definitely was a very well zone, but I think also they know that our post game is very strong. So one game, all the plays that we ran are very much ran through the post, so having to dump it down was a bit of a challenge, but I think also the advantage that we had was a small guard would be on the backside, so a small guard would be on me. So I think the zone was good, but also like if we just took our time and looked at the defense, we had a lot of open spots, and I think whenever it went into the post and we ran one game, that skip pass across the court was definitely open tons of times. So.
Yeah, I would just say, like, moving out the ball, and when we did get the ball in, the guards needed to cut, and that's what we started to do more, like, in the second half, and that's what opened it up, more shots on the outside, which even opened up the post more, because the movement we were getting, so it just was giving, like, Nyla, everyone opportunities to work on the inside, and then when they did collapse, they could kick out to the outside guards.
Well, I know it's still pretty early in the year, but where do you feel like you were better as a sophomore compared to where you were as a freshman?
I think I'm definitely better defensively this year. I think my offensive game is going to come with time. Just not letting my biggest thing now is just relaxation and not letting the game rush me whenever I catch the ball. Y'all don't really see that a lot, but I'm very good at catching the ball and putting it in the basket.
Yes, you.
But I think definitely right now for me is letting my defense indicate my offense. So being able to be present on defense will let me know how my offensive game is going to go. And as you guys can see tonight, my defense was very much present, and I had a lot of energy, so it helped me on the offensive end. But no, definitely offensively, just I'm still getting that 15-footer. I have it. I just need to be able to just let it go sometimes, and just be patient. That's my biggest thing this year for me. So, yes. Thank you, guys.
You.
Both coaches coming in here. Coach LZ will be next, and then followed by Coach Walz.
Coach, Maddie's big return today, 22 points, showed up all over the stat line. Can you kind of speak to how she ignited the offense today, and Maddie, how'd it feel to come back?
Well, it is good to have Maddie back. What I love about her, she's a competitor. She wants to win. She plays to win. Her ability to score settles us in offensively. Thought she played really tough today, but she knows how to make other people around her better. So glad to have her back on the floor.
It felt great to be back. I just was happy to be on the floor again. Yeah, it felt good. Got to make free throws, though.
Coach Janae has seen limited minutes this year. Grew up big time today. Can you talk to her, just her poise and her energy that she brought off the bench today?
You know, Janae works every day in practice, and we always tell her, you never know when we're going to call your number. And when we call your number, you have to be ready. She was able to receive some minutes in the Virgin Islands and didn't play like she wanted to play. And so she and I talked about it, and she was like, it's personal. I'm going to get out there and do what you need to do. And I thought she sold out to her role. We needed her to finish in the paint. She took 2 big charges and really held us down during a time when Petty was in foul trouble. So I talked to her in the locker room. She did grow up, and we're going to need that from her.
Coach, it seemed like at the end of the third quarter in that run that Louisville went on, that's when the momentum kind of started to change. What did you see in those moments?
Yeah, you know, we turned the ball over. That was one. So we started turning the ball over, which ignited their transition offense. We didn't rotate out on a couple of shooters. And last, the offensive rebounds. I thought we started fouling on the offensive rebounds. It was a small stretch, but it really changed the momentum of that game. So, that's what we'll go back as coaches and watch, and as the team. We're not that far off. It was a small window of time, but against that caliber of team, we can't have that lapse, and it cost us.
Maddie, plenty of really exciting matchups today, but your zone was particularly effective in the first half. Can you speak to what worked for you guys defensively this afternoon?
Yeah, that was a part of our game plan to protect the paint, and I think what got us in trouble is a few breakdowns, but also just rebounding out of the zone. I think they out-rebounded us by more than 20, looks like, so just got to rebound out of that zone, but I think we did a good job of personnel defense for the most part. But yeah, rebounding out of it.
Obviously, having Maddie here and Cassidy back is big for you guys moving forward. Just how close are they both to 100%?
Well, she looked like she was 100% today. But, it is a rhythm, getting everybody back, all of our pieces together. Good to have Cassidy Rowe back on the floor. I thought she did some good things in the minutes that she played. But they give us more depth, the ability to sub and also move around offensively. So good to have her back. Look forward to having Mimi back soon. She's still day-to-day, but the more depth, this team has an opportunity to be special. Obviously, we're coming off a loss. It's been a rough start, but we have enough, and that's my message to the team. We have enough. We're going to get our pieces back. We still have 3 games in the non-conference that we got to go get and let our momentum carry us into SEC play. So this team is not giving up. We don't have any quit in us. We offer no excuses. We're back to work, and we'll get it done.
Coach Petty with a double-double today. Just talk about what she means to this team.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Petty had a double-double today. Just
Yes.
talk about what she means to the
Asia
team.
Petty, she gives us an inside-out presence. Her ability to score in the paint. She's drawing so much attention. They're bringing the house to her when she catches it, which gives us an opportunity to kick out, make open shots. She's doing a better job of finding the open man and her ability to rebound the ball. So she plays a big part in our success and what we need. And she continues again with a double-double, and we're going to have them.
We have time for 1 or 2 more.
Coach, just 11 minutes for Anaya today. What, in your mind, is her role on this roster, and ideally, how would you like to use her?
Yeah, Anaya is a very talented player. We need more consistency from her defensively. She can't let her offense affect her defense. But she's talented. She's a big guard. When she's on, you've seen what she can do. So now we're just trying to find consistency from her. So we need her to come in, give us 8 to 10 points, the ability to rebound the basketball, all things that she can do.
Coach, you all forced 18 turnovers today, but of course you committed 19. Just where do you think you all can improve on that?
On forced turnovers or us turning the ball over?
Specifically, you all turning the ball over.
Well, some of ours became fatigue turnovers. We got to get better there. So we got to shorten the pass. When we get tired, shorten the pass. Are we setting up our screens? Are we getting open? Louisville does a good job of making us play fast, but we still got to be poised and get open. And then we just got to make better decisions. Read what the defense is doing. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Well, in there. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
feel free to start with any questions.
Jeff, it felt like the game really shifted about maybe midway, late through the third quarter. You guys were down by 3 and then went on a run to kind of take control. What did you see change to get your team on the right track there?
Well, I mean, it was a battle, which I knew it was going to be. There aren't many of these games that aren't. And I've got a ton of respect for Petty, for Shear, Miles. Just go through the list. And Russell, kids that, Petty started at LSU, Miles at Tennessee, Shear at Oregon, Russell, I believe, South Carolina. I mean, kids that can play. The problem is they've been injured throughout the year that they really haven't had a ton of opportunities to play together. And it did not surprise me that they were out there and available to play in our game. And I thought Shear played really, really well, shot the 3 extremely well. And then in Petty's, she's tough to guard in the post. She really does a nice job. She's patient. She's long. So we knew it was going to be a difficult game. Offensively for us, we weren't as smooth as I would have liked to have seen. I thought we passed the ball at times extremely well, but at times we overpassed. And then starting that third quarter, in the middle of that third quarter, we finally got some points from our defense. And that's what we've done this entire season is we've turned people over, but we've scored. In the first half, we were not doing a very good job of that at all. Worst case scenario, you like to be 1 for 1 with the number of turnovers you cause to the points you get, and we turned them over 19 times and ended up getting 23 points. But, I think a few of the play of the games were, we missed, I think, both free throws and then get the O board, and legally we score off of it. Those are plays that we've got to continue to make as we go forward.
Coach, you had a 22 margin advantage on rebounds on them. Did you kind of see that happening, and what made that possible?
Well, I mean, our size, and then the thing about it is I'm not sure they were really crashing the offensive glass. They were trying to slow our transition down and did a really good job of that. I mean, you look at fast break points, we only have 8. And we'd been doing a pretty good job of scoring in transition, so give them a credit for that. And we had the size advantage. When you get the 3 and the 4 spots, we had some size advantage there. So I was proud of the way we rebounded the basketball. Now, we end up with 15 offensive boards but only get 11 points off of it. So a lot of times we get it again, miss again, and they get the rebound. It does you no good if you're not finishing. And those are things that we've talked about with our kids. Our goals, I think it's 14 or 15 points, 14 or 15 second chance points. And I've told them I don't care how many offensive rebounds we get. I mean, if we get 5 and we kick it out for 5 straight threes, and that's 15, that's great. It's as I've said it over and over, we talk about free throw shooting per percentage. We're 68 tonight, but you add the 2 that we get off of O board from it, now we're 15 of 19. Because if you make those 2, you're not getting a chance to get an O board. So that's why I'm really impressed with how hard we played, especially right there in that stretch, third and fourth quarter. But at the same time, we've got to make better decisions towards the end of the game as well. I mean, you can't foul and give up an and-1 when you're up 7 or 8. And now all of a sudden we're up 9. It's back to a 6-point game. And I think got back to a 5-point game. So just things like that we have to clean up.
Coach, 5 players in double figures today. Obviously, you got a lot of newcomers to this roster this season, but you've managed to get them to blend quite well. How have you built that chemistry with this team?
Well, first off, it's a great group of kids. They're as good of people as we've had here throughout my 17 years. They actually have joy for each other. They cheer for each other. It's not just them. And I think that's what makes it as special as it is. I mean, you look around the country, and when it comes to the success with portal kids throughout the entire time, the 3 or 4 years, we have had a ton of success. And it's, we get good players, but they're also good people. And that's what separates it. And they're coming in here for one thing, and that's to win. They're all sacrificing the number of points they scored a game last year. But I know they thoroughly enjoy winning. And then, it was neat before the game started. Sid standing next to me for the national anthem. I said, it's pretty neat, isn't it? She goes, man, this is crazy. It's an experience that some of them haven't had when you're walking out to play a ball game and there's 12,000 people cheering them on.
Jeff, given the climate,
what's your name? I haven't seen you yet. Is this your? We're 9 games in. Have I seen you at one before? What?
You saw me at Toronto.
Who are you with?
Kind of given the climate.
Well, you need to state your name so I know what affiliation. That's how it works, isn't it? And I mean, come on, let me hear it.
I'm gonna get you, Jeff.
Oh, I'm waiting for the article.
C.L.
Don't worry.
Brown. Yes. Courier Journal. Given the climate right now with the portal and kind of teams almost flipping rosters from year to year and the amount of newcomers you had, how do you get them to understand kind of the importance of a rivalry game?
Well, I really don't think we did as good of a job this year as we have in the past, because we didn't come out with the focus that I thought we needed to. And part of it could be because it's the first time some of them have played in an environment like this. You walk out there, and I know everybody, you think it's easy. And then, if you ever get in a situation where you have to go speak in front of a crowd or something, all of a sudden, man, I wonder how that kid feels going to shoot a free throw in front of 12,000. And then, so I think it took a little bit of time for them to get adjusted. But when you've got Olivia Cochran and Rest, who have been here for 4 years, and we showed them past films, past games, to get them to understand. And plus, like our kids, we have friends on other sports as well, the football team, the volleyball team, so the soccer team, all of it. So they know the importance of this game. And it's important. It's important to our fan base. It's important to me. It's important to them. But it is a little difficult. It's not the same. And, I talked about that coming out of the tunnel after the game. You're working on 5 or 6 months to get them to realize, hey, this is the game our fan base looks at. We got to make sure that we come out here and represent and take care of business. So you are trying to show them and let them know, because it has changed. And the other thing that's changed too, which I know it's hard for a lot of fans to accept sometimes and understand, is these kids have played together or against each other for 7-8 years as they've grown up on the circuit, the travel ball circuit, the club circuit. So, sure, they're both trying to compete to win, but they're actually friends. And because I've had some comments, I can't believe she talked to her after the game in years past. I'm like, well, they're actually friends. But it's hard because there's the rivalry you get where it's like, I'm not talking to my neighbor because they got a UK flag hanging. I'm not talking to this one because I'm a UK fan. They got a Louisville flag flying out there. So the kids are competing as hard as they can. I promise you, and want to win. But at the end of the game, what I think is refreshing at times is to watch them actually talk to each other and be like, great game, you got us. We're coming after you next year. But it's been fun. I mean, it's been on our side for a while here, but we don't take that for granted. We know how competitive every game we play is against them.
Lily had such an impact on this game coming off the bench. What made her such a force today?
Well, after the first half, I thought she really settled in, because when she shot that air ball in the first half, I really think, unfortunately, it impacted her. She thought about it too much. She was worried about it, and then really wasn't doing what we needed her to do at the defensive end of the floor, because she is by far one of our best, if not our best, on-ball defenders that we have. And then, she comes up with a huge steal there at the end, and she let her defense start to bring her offense. And then I'll give her credit. The one thing that we've talked about with her is letting the game come to her. And the three she hits in the corners off of ball reversal, she's open, her feet are set, and it's a big three. When she tries to create too much, that's when she gets in trouble. But if she'll continue to believe and buy in that she can be our best defender that we have, and if you're that every single night, you're going to play. And then, because I have learned throughout my college career, my brief college career, that I was unable to score when I was on the bench. Now, my family would keep track of my points in pregame and then at halftime. Because I shot it well. You know, I just used to get upset at halftime when, like, the starters would want me to rebound for them. I'm like, you're getting the shots in the game. This is my time. You know? So, is Kent Taylor the one day when I was interviewed? I think I do have, like, it could be like 47 career points at Northern Kentucky. It's because I never got the ball. Wasn't me. Promise you that.
Coach, talking about points, obviously Olivia scoring 1,000 today. Emotional day across the board, but just talking about coaching her and seeing her reach this peak, what does that mean to you? And ultimately, what kind of player has she been for you?
O's been as steady as they come. A 4-year starter now. Gets in there and battles. She rebounds. She's not afraid of contact. I'm proud of her because the growth that she's made over her 4 years has really been impressive. You know, and tonight she has 3 assists and 0 turnovers to go along with her 10 points. You know, she impacts the game in so many different ways. She brings the ball up the floor. She goes behind the back, you know, and I was a little worried on that one. I'm not going to lie. But she works on it. So she's out there. She wants to show that, hey, I can handle it at times on the perimeter. She made a huge free throw line jumper. Just really proud of her. She works and she's going to continue to work. And I've said, you know, I'm going to do everything I can to see if I can convince her to come back for a 5th year. I don't know why she want to look at this for another year. So yeah, I mean that's why you're here. Yeah, I haven't seen you in 9 games. I mean,
Jeff, I thought Jada maybe first half to second settled in, and maybe it was just the whole team, but offensively it looked like they were a lot more comfortable playing against that zone. You were hitting Lily coming down, you know, Nyla from the opposite side.
Yeah.
Was it just comfort level? Or?
Well, it was that, and then we finally started to get our feet set. Like on the 1-3 that Jada hits in front of the bench, you know, I come down, I'm like, Jada, one game, push her through, and when they kick it to you, if you don't shoot it, you're coming out. Because she's one that I love her to death, but she drives me nuts because I've never had a player I've had to tell to shoot the ball more than I have to tell her. As I explained to her millions of times, my coach never had to tell me to shoot. It was, please stop shooting. Like when I'm giving her the green light, I want her to score because she's a scorer and she's really good at it. And I just got to get her confident enough to attack, to keep attacking. Because when she gets to that point where she feels comfortable and will look to score, we're going to change as a team as well. Because now when I go with her at the point, instead of Nina with the sub, now I'm putting in scoring from the 3-point line. And then I'm able to play them both together at times if I can get her to look to score. You know, I was proud of her, and I told her she looked to shoot the ball more in the second half. And even on the one pull-up in transition, she looks over, oh, it's a bad shot. No, it's not a bad shot. We work on that. She missed it. We get the O board and score. So she's one that I'm going to continue to push and challenge because we need her to play at a higher a level. And she's done it. Now it's just a matter of getting comfortable. Because I don't take them out. If they miss a shot, I do not take them out. As long as you take a shot that you practice, you're not going to come out of the game. You know, now, I mean, common sense. Now, if you've missed 4 in a row and then you jack up the 5th one, yeah, you might come out. But just by taking one shot, you're not. So I want her to have that confidence to shoot it because we need her to score.
You kind of touched on this a little bit with Olivia. Obviously, you talk to players during the year, and especially, and it's way too early to talk about it now, about going to the next level. Will you talk to Olivia about coming back for a 5th year at the end of the year?
Of course.
And will
I
you
already have.
Okay, you already. Okay, and the next level. Obviously, she can play at the next level, or you wouldn't have her.
No, for sure. I mean, for O, the one thing I challenge her on with every day is sometimes in player development, you get ahead of yourself. It's like, hey, we have to work on the 3. We have to work on. I mean, I don't have the stats in front of me, but I don't know if Maisha Hines-Allen made a 3. She may have made 1 in her 4 years here with us. Okay, but what she did do when she got the ball at the free throw line, it was good. Short corner, reverse pivot, good. You've got to get to that point, and that's what I'm talking to O about. Master that. Master the free throw line, the short corner, because if they close at her, she's so explosive, she can go by them. Then once you master that, then what happens is if you get that opportunity to play at the next level, you're not going to class. Basketball's your class. So now you have so much more time to put into, okay, now I'm going to extend my game to really become a 3-point shooter. I'm going to work on my little extra ball handling. And that's the thing, because she is she's so strong and so explosive that in that free throw line jump shot's what she's been working on. And if you come out and guard her, she's going by you. So I was really proud of her.
Jeff, I asked Nyla where she thought she was better as a player as a sophomore. She talked about her defense kind of helping create her offense. Is that what you see out of her for taking a step forward so far?
Yeah, I do. I mean, she's someone, she goes 6-9 from the field tonight, missed a layup, but has 3 steals. She's able to guard a guard, playing on the ball. The only really shocking thing for me was her 1 for 4 at the free throw line. She had been shooting extremely well at the line. But I think she was one that we missed and got the O board off of and scored. So she's in the gym, she's working, and it's what I appreciate about her. She comes with that workmanlike attitude every single day. And she's getting better and better, and we need her because she's so explosive and she rebounds the ball well. I mean, her and O both come down with 8 boards, 4 offensive each and 4 defensive. She has 3 steals and did some really, really good things. I appreciate you, everybody. Thank you. Hope to see you again after Christmas in February, CL, or what are we thinking? March? And you didn't want me to go in.